All right, patch 1.16 for farming similar to 25 is out now on both PC and console, and it features some visual and audio improvements, some gameplay tweaks, and 4 new pieces of equipment that's behind me right here. So let's take a look at this equipment. Okay, first up, we got the Zetor Crystal 16045. This is, if I'm not mistaken, circa area 1978. If you like old stuff, it's a pretty cool tractor if you like vintage stuff. And I do. Sometimes I like to play on a farm and pretend that it's like a long time ago, or I inherit it from my great-granddaddy and that's all I got, you know, so that's pretty cool. Let's look at this on the menu. This does have 150 horsepower, which is pretty cool. Okay, that's it here. It costs $55,000. It has 150 horsepower. Now, the only drawback is I see it goes only 15 miles an hour, which is kind of slow, even for an old tractor. But a few of them are 12. It's better than 12, I guess. You can add some front weights on there. 200 kilograms, 320, 400, 480. 560 all the way up to 640 kilograms of front weight, which is pretty cool. So you could use this to pull some stuff. You know, 150 is not bad if you're doing a vintage farm. That's pretty powerful for an old tractor. So that's kind of cool. So equipped out there with the weights and everything is $55,800. You can change your wheels a little bit. Standard tires, medium tires, wide tires, narrow tires. Then you got twin wheels, narrow, and rear twin wheels, and then back to standard. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Has a nice vintage look there when you're looking at it. Let's take a look at the inside. Pretty cool, gauges. It is enclosed so you don't get wet when it rains. Let's just try this out for a second. Okay, I'm wound up 16 miles an hour. I'm in the parking lot, wide open. Got a nice little romp to it though. Alright, let's look at another piece of gear. Okay, the next piece of gear is this DeWolf vegetable harvester. So you can do carrots, parsnips, and red beets with that. Now you need 170 horsepower to pull that. I don't have that, but I'm not actually harvesting. I just want to unfold it so you can see kind of what it looks like. We'll look at the specs here in just a second. But it's pretty cool. There it is unfolded. So it just gives you another option as far as doing veggies. Let's take a look at the menu for this guy. Okay, it's going to be under vegetable harvesters, of course. And that's it right here, the DeWolf GCCI. Cost $181,000. You need 170 horsepower to pull that, and it does 0.8 meters wide at 6 miles an hour. So it's very similar to some other ones, like that one. So there you go. I don't really see the difference in this. This uses only 100 horsepower and it's the same. And this has a 5.5 meter bucket. Well, I guess you would dump this into something, but there you go. Gives you another choice for veggies. If you like to do those things, they're kind of tedious, but hey, they can be profitable for your farm. All right, look at this next piece of gear here. This is pretty cool. And it's a small windrower. A small windrower. Check this out. Look at that. That's cool. We'll look at the specs on it. But basically, you need only 30 horsepower for this thing. So if you are doing a vintage type farm, you could pull this with the old Farmall, you know, that has 25 to 30 horsepower. This would be great for a small, very small farm with some old tractors. So that's kind of cool, because before I had to go to a mod, to get something like this. So I'm excited about this, only because I like old vintage stuff. Let's look at it on the menu. Okay, if you go to Grassland Care under windrowers, you're going to see it right here. The Krone Swadro S350 Highland costs $6,500. You need only 30 horsepower for that. But its swath is only 3.5 meters wide, but it does go 9 miles an hour. It's only $6,500 though, so that's pretty cheap too. You're doing a small beginning farm, a little bit of grass, maybe just for some sheep or something. That's pretty nice right there. Because, sheep can feed off the pasture, so you don't need a whole lot for them. Okay, the next piece of gear is also a windrower. It's kind of the other end of the scale. It's big and heavy. Look at this guy, the Oxbow. And you need 150 horsepower to pull that. And lo and behold, my new old tractor has 150 horsepower. So theoretically, I could pull this with this old Zetor right here. Look at that. Pretty nice windrower. Very, very hefty looking. Let's take a look at the menu. Okay, that's it here. The Oxbow 2340 is going to cost you $158,000. You need 150 horsepower to pull it. Has a swath 12 meters wide and goes 11 miles an hour while it's doing that. So this is a pretty cool piece of gear. It's not cheap like the other one, but once your farm's up and running and you feel like you've arrived in the world, this is a pretty nice upgrade. Yeah, I like the Oxbow equipment. Pretty nice, very hefty looking. All right, that's my update on patch 1.16 for Farming Simulator 25. I've loaded that already. Like I said, it's out on PC and console right now. So that's all I got. I'm Farmer Teacher. Share this with your farming buddies. Give me a thumbs up. I'll see you on the next go-round. Bye-bye.